Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the CFO podcast. For this episode, I'm super excited, primarily for three reasons. Firstly, I'm shooting this straight from my hometown, Karachi, Pakistan, the place from where my journey began and the place which shaped me up. Secondly, for this podcast, I've done a little change. We're going to be having a conversation in a mix of both English and Urdu language, and this is basically driven from some feedback that I received from some close friends who suggested this way. And upon reflection, I realized that some stories are best told in the language of your comfort, so hence the reason. But don't worry, we're not going to miss out on any fun because everything is going to have subtitles. And thirdly, which is the most important reason, my guest CFO today is not just a great, brilliant finance leader, but he's also, more importantly, my friend, a mentor, somebody who I genuinely look up to for a lot of reasons, and he's just somebody who has an overall great vibe around him. He has this special talent of lighting up any room with his presence, his engagements, and his talks. And on a more professional level, he is a seasoned finance leader with deep-rooted experience in the FMCG sector, which is the fast-moving consumer goods sector. And most recently, he's serving as a CFO of a global iconic beauty brand. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Babar Hashmi. Babar, welcome.
Thank you, Asad. I mean, suddenly I feel कि तुमने बाबर हाशमी के बजाय ताबिश हाशमी का इंट्रोडक्शन करा रहे थे, the kind of, glamour that you put in place. बहुत सादा से लोग हैं, but the good thing is that we've been friends for long. We had so many lunches together, so much time together. So really good to see you.
बिल्कुल बाबर, thank you again आने के लिए बाबर. And बाबर, क्योंकि मैं आपको प्रोफेशनली भी जानता हूँ और आपसे दोस्ती भी है हमारी थोड़ी, तो बाबर, आई थिंक मैं ऑडियंस को ये भी बड़ा जरूरी बताना चाहूंगा बिफोर वी रियली किक दिस ऑफ कि बाबर इज समबडी हु लीड्स अ रिच लाइफ. एंड व्हेन आई से रिच लाइफ is not, of course, the monetary rich life. That's why I pointed out towards my heart, is because आपके अंदर एक बाबर ये स्पेशल मैंने देखा है, which I get inspired by as well. You balance a lot of things together. You're great at work, and then you have this whole life outside work, जिसमें जब मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि जैसे the days when you're not dissecting numbers or leading financial strategies in the boardroom, you could be found spinning a cricket ball on a cricket pitch, or throwing powerful throws in a tennis court, or even now lately swinging a golf club in a golf course. So ये कैसे बाबर सब चीजें और क्यों important है?
एक तो ये कि तीनों स्पोर्ट जो है मैं कोई भी अच्छा नहीं खेलता. So I just manage all of these sports. But yes, somebody once asked me कि यार the personality that you have, you don't look like a CFO. यार. So I told the person कि यार somehow some people find passion and do the things that is they're passionate about, but I've not let being a CFO or a finance professional really define me. That's what I do. But Babar Hashmi is who I am. So I make sure कि यार मैं अपने original essence ना वो miss करूँ. Or things which are important to me. I do like to have fun, whether it's sports or it's music or other things. That's what keeps me fresh. That's what keeps me myself. और अपना authenticity ना मैं miss करूँ. So I mean, you've been from a big four audit firm. हम लोग एक ही firm में काम कर चुके हैं at different times. I told myself very early कि यार सिर्फ साहब बन के 12 घंटा नहीं गुजार सकते. I mean, I need to be myself because we spend so much time at work. Somehow we have to make it fun, even the workplace that we work at. So that's what I've tried to do over the 15, 20, I don't know how many years of working that we've been doing. So yeah, it's been fun. I mean, and I try to balance my work life with the things that are interesting for me outside of work. So yeah, that I've been fortunate.
And I've witnessed it with a lot of friends of ours together. You do that very well. बाबर, तो जनरली मैं जिस तरह कॉन्वर्सेशन स्टार्ट करता हूँ आमतौर से आई टेक द गेस्ट बैक टू देयर अर्ली डेज. थोड़ी सी इन्फ्लुएंसेस कैसी थी आपके अराउंड व्हिच शेप यू अप यू आर. सो जस्ट शेयर योर जर्नी, योर अर्ली डेज, वेयर यू ग्रू अप, वेयर यू स्टडीड एटसेट्रा. एनीथिंग एल्स दैट यू वांट टू शेयर?
So all through a Karachi boy, grew up, studied here, did my school, and chartered accountancy was something that right outside of A-levels मुझे पता था कि this is what I want to do because it was a quite safe career. I mean, I chose accounting and finance because I thought कि once you have qualified, और मैं इतना अपने आप को होशियार समझता था कि I would qualify, the career is quite safe. I don't have to run around looking for jobs. So that was my original motivation. Maybe not the most inspiring motivation, you could say, but maybe us finance professionals are more conservative and less risk takers. That's why we end up being finance people. So that was somehow where, started, and I started with the Big Four, and I sometimes feel that Big Four के बाद की जो journey है, that is often defined by आपका background और आपकी शौक किस तरह के रहे. So sometimes I say कि यार मैंने जो MNCs में हमेशा काम किया, that's because my folks really paid attention to my schooling. So I had that kind of personality and that kind of, you know, कि जो MNCs में काम करके stakeholders के साथ आप चला सकते. So I started in oil and gas in an international company. Then I moved to, you know, an FMCG, you know, a global brand in Pakistan. And they took me outside to Dubai, where I spent 10 years, 5 with them and 5 outside. And in 2023, I came back to Pakistan with the same company that had moved me to Dubai. So it was, you know, interesting for me to come back as a CFO this time around. I was a controller before. So it has been a good journey, I think. And somehow, when you look back to your, you know, career-wise, ये जो articleship or Big Four का experience है, that's almost like a university for finance professionals who do their chartered in Pakistan. So I still have my best friends who are from that time, and I'm still in touch with them. We still are the WhatsApp groups of odd names and, you know, the conversations that you cannot share with everyone. So it's still those people who I met in the firm, and I'm still, you know, so let's say fond of them that, and we are good friends all the time. And, you know, we have grown up together, and I've, over the, let's say, years that I've worked at different places, I think the most important thing has been कि आपके लोगों से कैसे bonds रहे हैं in each of the organizations. So, you know, in all of the 4 or 5 companies that I've worked in, there are some people who have mentored me and I try to keep in touch with. There have been some kids who I was able to influence and they message me sometimes. And, you know, मेरा सबसे बड़ा दिल उसी से होता है when somebody who was in my team or extended team and they message me about some success that they have. That really, you know, and in my current position, जब आप थोड़ा सा leadership roles में होते हैं, I think you become more HR than finance because your job is now to lead and inspire. That's a strong word है, but at least to influence positively people so that they achieve their goals and the organization achieves success as well.
Perfect, Babar. Babar, I'll just pull out a thread from whatever important things that you said. जिसमें एक बड़ी ज़रूरी चीज़ आपने बोली, इसने आपने बोला कि as finance professionals we are naturally wired as conservative और हम चीज़ें ये पढ़ते हैं, you know, professional skepticism and all of that. मतलब audit की किताब का पहला चैप्टर ही risk assessment है, तो मतलब आप imagine कर लें risk taking कब आएगी. तो बाबर इसमें मुझे एक चीज़ बताइए कि हम अब क्योंकि हम इस तरह wire हुए होते हैं, तो a lot of us, and I would even put myself in there, are generally introvert या बहुत comfortable नहीं होते about, you know, striking a conversation. So Babar, what I've noticed with you is that you are very comfortable in striking a conversation with people that you don't know and sort of, or you know, creating those friendships, cracking jokes. And so Babar, ये over a time आपके साथ आया है, this is who you were from wherever you were?
If I look back, my early days in my articles, I wasn't that comfortable meeting new people and just, yes, I was friendly around my own social circle, but with time you get more comfortable when you, जब आपको अपने ऊपर भी जरा सा कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है ना, when you're comfortable in your skin, that you're not trying to prove or impress people, so then it's easier to just, you know, mingle and have conversations around and, you know, create an environment around which is positive and, you know, has a good vibe as you said. But जहाँ तुम introvert or extrovert की बात करो, that's very different to if you say being conservative, because being an introvert is how you drive your energy. So for example, if an extrovert person would find more energy surrounding himself with people, and मेरे साथ इसी तरह से है कि I have more fun कि अगर मैं teams के साथ हूँ. For example, I don't like working from home. जबकि मेरी जो current organization है, they offer twice a week to work from home, but I'm 5 days in the office because मुझे लोग चाहिए इर्द-गिर्द में. That's the vibe I enjoy. But there would be an introvert person who would re-energize himself when they're alone. So if they spend a lot of exhausting time in meetings, उनको फिर alone time चाहिए to, and as leaders हमारा ये भी काम है कि हम अपनी teams की psychology को समझें. So we have to understand that we would have teams who are extroverts and there would be team members who are introverts. And if you want to motivate them and we want to channel their energies, आप उनको डील भी इसी तरह से करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू हैव अ टीम मेंबर और तुमको बजट कंप्लीट करवाना है, बट दैट पर्सन वुड एंजॉय कि यार ये मैं अकेले में करूं, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ ही इज एबल टू फोकस एंड ही मेक श्योर कि उसकी नंबर्स अच्छे आ रहे हैं एंड ही हैज द राइट एनर्जी. ही माइट वांट टू वर्क कंप्लीटली एट होम. उस दिन हो सकता है वो घर से काम करे तो इट माइट बी बेटर फॉर हिम, बट देयर वुड बी अनदर पर्सन जिसको बात करनी है, जिसको कंसल्ट करना है व्हाइल ही इज डूइंग हिज वर्क एंड ही नीड्स पीपल अराउंड हिम. सो यू हैव टू देन give the people the space they are comfortable with. And that's the job of the leader ultimately, whether it's a CFO or any other leader in the corporate world. You have to make sure that you know the psychology of your people and you make them comfortable in their own environment.
बाबर, इससे एक चीज निकलती है और आप मुझे बताइए बाबर, एज अ लीडर कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है टू हैव द राइट बैलेंस बिटवीन इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस एंड IQ, क्योंकि अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि पीपल आर इंटेलेक्चुअली वेरी साउंड एंड हाई ऑन IQ बट वेरी लो ऑन EQ, उसके क्या
I think
असरात होते
it's
हैं?
very important because see, आजकल if you ask any HR person, D&I is a topic that especially you're working in Dubai right now where you have a host of nationalities. With 30 odd nationalities used to work where I was working before in the company. Unless you have emotional intelligence and you are able to read the room, read people, understand them, आप सही तरह से influence नहीं कर सकते. Whether it's your team members or it's your stakeholders, it's your peers or it's your bosses, for example. If you're in a board meeting and you're not able to read the room, you probably will not come out as the smartest person there or the person who will be able to influence the right decisions.
Right.
So I think EQ becomes very, very important. And as you grow up the ladder in your leadership journey, the technical skills, you always have very smart people who are doing it for you. I mean, I have people in my team who are much smarter than me. I've always had people in my team who have been smarter than me. एंड मेरा काम यही है कि फिर यार मैं उनकी स्मार्टनेस और उनकी टेक्निकल स्किल्स को बेस्ट यूटिलाइज करूं एंड बाय गिविंग देम द राइट गाइडेंस एंड द राइट डायरेक्शन एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग देम एट द सेम टाइम where they are not able to fight their fights, I have to step in and help them. And where they are doing it very well themselves, I have to give them space to create their own, so they can expand their own wings and they can fly off. So आपको EQ as your CFO journey or your leadership journey grows, it becomes very imperative.
बाबर, इसमें एक और चीज़ है क्योंकि ये जो पॉडकास्ट है ना बाबर, इसके मेनली 3 ऑडियंस पर्सोनाज हैं, शायद अगर मैं एक दफा रिपीट कर देता हूँ. एक है वेरी यंग फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल्स हु रियली डोंट नो हाउ इट लुक्स लाइक ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ बिकमिंग अ सीनियर फाइनेंस लीडर. फिर एक वो हैं जो कि दे हैव स्टार्टेड देयर जर्नी बट दे आर इन दोस मिडिल मैनेजमेंट देयर ईयर्स वेयर दे आर वंडरिंग हाउ टू स्विच फ्रॉम 3rd to 4th and to 5th gears, राइट, एंड दे लुक अप टू पीपल लाइक योरसेल्फ टू फिगर दैट आउट. और फिर ऑफ कोर्स एक आपके पीयर CFOs, पीयर CEOs हो गए कि यार बाकी CFOs या फाइनेंस लीडर किस तरह की बातें करें. इसमें से सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो है ना पर्सोनाज मेरे लिए जो पहले वाले 2 हैं, बिकॉज दोज आर रियली पीपल हु ट्राइंग टू एक्सट्रैक्ट वैल्यू आउट ऑफ. तो बाबर, क्योंकि आपने फर्म में बहुत काम किया है, आपने बहुत सारे जूनियर्स के साथ काम किया होगा, एट सम पॉइंट टाइम यू आर इवन टीचिंग, राइट, सो यू हैव बीन वेरी क्लोज टू द students, right? So Babar, आपकी क्या piece of advice or any suggestion you might have for students of today or people who are in the firm at this point?
Yeah, the audit firm, I mean, last week I was with a group of friends from my audit days, and he reminded me something I told him back in the day. कि यार आपको 4 साल की आर्टिकल्स इतना सिखा देती है that technically you're good for life. So the articles या फिर आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी, it's a good ground for your technical homework जिसको आप कहें, जिस पे आप build कर सकते हैं, leverage कर सकते हैं. But to thrive in the corporate world, so there are no shortcuts. I would advise, because I see the Gen Z population that I see around me, and अब मैं, for example, in my own office, I'm a grandpa. सब कहते हैं यार ये कौन बुढ़ा आ गया, because the young corporates, especially in Pakistan, are full of very young, very bright people. And while people complain about the Gen Z, I find them very, full of energy and very, जिसे कहते हैं कि उनमें ideas बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. And they have a lot of good things, to share and to build. At the same time, the advice that I would give to the young team members who are starting their careers is there are no shortcuts. They would have to put in the miles. I was working for one of the organizations where the CEO was very young. It was a leading listed company in Pakistan in oil and gas sector. And the CEO was a early 40s ka CEO tha. And he had a talent session. And somebody asked him that, how was your work-life balance? You are such a young CEO. And he said, well, to be where I am at this age, what do you expect? So, yes, it's very good to have work-life balance, but you should be clear that, what is your objective? अगर आपका objective to be at the top बहुत जल्दी है, तो फिर बहुत सारी मेहनत भी करनी होगी, and then you need to really make sure that you have the technical skills, you are making sure that people know that you're working. At the same time, you're delivering targets and you're asking for more. You have to be hungry. अगर आपके objective थोड़ा सा कम है, I want to have a decent life and at my own pace. So yes, you can, be more relaxed, for example. So you need to be very clear on what you want out of life. And accordingly, you have to put in the hours as well. So there is no free cake. दुनिया में आपको मेहनत करोगे तो ज़्यादा कुछ मिल रहा होगा. So that's the advice I give to the young kids, let's say, sounding so old already. At the same time, जो mid managers हैं या जो अपने career में decision making के influencing stage पर हैं, कि based on their output, the management will take decisions. They have to make sure that they are very important, especially when you come into management, is your integrity. I think अगर आपकी कोई बात है जो कि you believe in it, that's the right thing. Especially as finance professionals, you are often at the, at jobs where you are the one who's a kind of a guard and savior of the whole organization. You have to make sure कि आपकी integrity बहुत impeccable है. Nobody can pressure you to say something which you don't believe in and which is not the truth. And in the long run, even if there are pressure situations where, for example, आपको लग रहा है यार मेरा बॉस तो मुझे जबरदस्ती ये करवा रहा है या बिजनेस का जनरल मैनेजर मुझसे जबरदस्ती ये करवा रहा है, you lose respect in the organization if you don't stick to your integrity and transparency. So for finance professionals, especially the kind of jobs you guys are going to do, the young kids and the middle managers, they'll be in a position of some influence and they are the ones who are protecting the organizations from risks. So their integrity and transparency is the foremost thing that they have to be strong at, and they have to believe in it, and it's going to pay off. I mean, I've had areas in my career where people expect you to compromise it, but you don't gain anything out of it. In the long run, you lose out. And I would really advise people that while they are very, let's say, invested in their functional skills, making sure that their financial models are optimized, making sure that everybody likes them, but make sure that sometimes finance professionals are not there for likes. I mean, yes, this is a very social media door जहाँ likes चाहिए और आपको you want to impress people, but sometimes you just have to tell the truth, even if it's a bit not popular, and even if sometimes it means that in the short term आपको थोड़ा मुश्किल face करनी पड़े उसके लिए. So these are the things that people are going to respect you for. And finance professionals can never have a reputation कि यार ये आदमी का जो वर्ड्स हैं ये उस पर पूरा नहीं उतर रहा या फिर इसने जो बात पहले कही थी वो कोलैबोरेट नहीं हो रही बाय something else that he has said. So you have to be very important. It's very important that you're transparent and your integrity should be impeccable. That's something that I would advise. Of course, I mean, finance की बहुत branches हैं, analytics चाहिए हैं, data science का दौर है वगैरह वगैरह. But all of those are functional things. I would tell you कि personal traits बहुत important है to grow in your careers.
बाबा ये जो आपने स्पेशली बात बोली about integrity, क्योंकि मैं भी अभी उसी दौर में हूँ, and I look up to a lot of you guys as well. क्योंकि ये जो इंटेग्रिटी वाली बात है दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बाबर. सो कभी कभी होता है कि यार नहीं बोलेंगे या ना बोलेंगे तो ऑफ कोर्स इट विल बी टेकन नेगेटिवली, इट माइट इंपैक्ट माय प्रमोशन, इट माइट इंपैक्ट माय ग्रोथ, लेकिन एक्चुअली ऐसा हो नहीं रहा होता.
इट कम्स बैक टू बाइट यू. If you don't, let's say there is a provision that you should have taken, you don't take, और आप कहते नहीं यार बाद में कवर हो जाएगा, it comes back to bite you. अगर आप day one पे थोड़ा सा guts पैदा करें and you put down your managers even if they are saying something wrong, and there's a certain level of authority that you have and there's a certain level of escalation that you do, and आपका ज़मीर अगर अच्छा है उसके बाद, if you're at peace, you've done your job, but you can't let anyone press you या फिर आप पे pressure इस तरह से डाले that you are you change your stance just because of some pressures in the job.
So basically आप ये कह रहे हैं कि stand your ground and don't be a pushover.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Baba, 2-3 more soft questions because I'm just trying to socialize you with the audience, and then we'll go deep dive into where you basically are deep rooted in, which is FMCG and a lot of other things around that. So Baba, sports से आपकी हमारी दोनों की वाबस्तगी बड़ी जबरदस्त है. देखने खेला भी है, साथ खेला भी है, बल्कि साथ खेले हैं टूर्नामेंट्स हमने बड़े, और मैं जानता हूँ बड़ी जबरदस्त लेग स्पिनर और आप टेनिस.
जबरदस्त is a bit exaggeration है.
चलिए ठीक है, नहीं
because there are lots of people जिनके साथ मैंने क्रिकेट खेली है, उनको पता है.
तो बिल्कुल उनके मैं कमेंट्स ऑफ कर दूंगा. ठीक है. नहीं तो बाबर, आपकी नजर में बाबर स्पोर्ट्स इज इट जस्ट अबाउट रिलैक्सिंग या डज इट आल्सो प्ले अ रोल इन योर प्रोफेशनल लाइफ? किसी तरीके से दोनों कनेक्ट करते हैं?
Yeah, for me at least, sports is my me time. I mean, I know that yes, I have a job to take, I have a family to support, and I love doing both. But for me, sports is about creating that me time.
Okay.
So whether it's a team sports like cricket, where you're around friends and you're playing together, or it's golf that I've picked up recently. By the way, उसको भी हमने बड़ा social वो बना दिया है. There's a good group of people that I play with. But for me, it's me time, letting your hair down, having a bit of a breather. और उससे आप फ्रेश रहते हैं, so if you do sports on the weekend, आप मंडे तो आप फ्रेश जाते हैं, you took a proper break over the weekend. That's what it is for me. But there are parallels that you can draw from sports into a professional life. I mean, अगर कोई बच्चा भी sports की टीम में खेल रहा है and he learns how to lose, that helps him in his life, because life is not all about success. Life is so much about failures. तो sports में बहुत चीजें हैं जो आपको सिखाती हैं. I've played, तुम leg spin की बात कर रहे हो. I mean, cricket is an ideal example. आजकल पाकिस्तान में इतना popular नहीं रहा, but when we were growing up, that was the only sport that we used to watch and play and follow. So many things that you can drive from that sporting field into the profession field. It's about discipline. You cannot get anything in your professional life without proper discipline. Same is like in cricket. आपको एक discipline से batting करनी है, discipline से bowling करनी है. Hard work for sure. I mean, you don't get anything easy in life. There is a lot of hard work. अगर आप अचानक से बगैर नेट्स किए हुए एक दिन मैच में पहुंचते हैं तो उससे ज्यादा छक्के पड़ते हैं. नॉट टू से कि कभी कभार बहुत नेट्स करके भी बहुत छक्के खाए हैं मैंने, but at least you cover your bases, you try to work hard around it, and at the same time thinking on your feet. Sometimes what sports gives you is कि how a lot of what we आजकल लोग इस बात की बात कर रहे हैं, I don't know where I've heard it, a lot of life is about reacting to what comes your way. So it's not something always आप अपनी मर्जी से रास्ते बना रहे हो. Sometimes it comes to you and how you react. और उसके हिसाब से आपकी success या failures बनते हैं. So you have that kind of thinking on your feet in whatever sports you play, whether it's soccer, which I've never played, or it's tennis, or it's cricket, or even golf. Okay, अब ball इधर पड़ी है इस lie पे, this lie is not good. How do you make the most out of this and come closer to the green and get your strokes down? So those kind of parallels you can draw from. But for me, I mean, when I'm at any of the sports I'm doing, it's completely to relax, to be re-energized, to be with friends, and to have a good time. So that when I'm back at office, I'm 100% at office.
Perfect. I couldn't add anything more to this. Totally makes sense. बाबर चलें, अब आपको ले चलते हैं थोड़ा पढ़ाई की तरफ.
असल में आपकी उफ
पढ़ाई की तरफ चलते हैं थोड़ा.
आसान वाली चीजें और नहीं कर सकते, यही आता है मुझे.
नहीं खैर, असल तो अब आपकी तरफ से वैल्यू निकली क्योंकि मैं तो आपके साथ I've had the pleasure of working with you, so I know how deep-rooted you are in some of those areas.
You remember how we first had a word with our first conversation?
Honestly, I've been trying to forget it, but लेकिन हुआ ये कि it has left a mental scar on me and I'm unable to forget it.
So I can be a bit nasty when
you can be. So audience को चले, अब आपने जिक्र कर लिया तो do you want me to share? You want to share?
No, I mean we can both add. Asad gave me a call. He was giving an interview in the same company that I was working in. And I was also hiring for a different position, for a junior position. And I thought this guy has contacted me and giving me some reference. और मुझे तो merit पे hire करना होता है. Why is he calling me? And I think I was quite nasty.
You were. You gave me a good beating that day on call.
And then I realized.
The moment I mentioned कि Babar, there's a role that is posted, I just want to understand कि उस role में क्या है, and you picked it up as if I'm saying कि यार I want to get into this role through you because I'm such and such, and then you told me कि यार असल में I've been getting a lot of calls around this role, so I was really frustrated कि यार एक और call क्यों आ गई मुझे.
And I thought कि because you were actually applying for, I mean, our common boss. हम दोनों तो उसको report करते थे, our corporate CFO. But the funny thing, but हमने बाद में जाके over a cigarette, I think. But we had such a good, let's say, relationship henceforth. आपने कभी कभार आपके अक्सर relationships का start जैसे भी होता हो, bond बड़ा मजेदार हो जाता है. It's something we can always laugh about.
नहीं, totally Babar, and then you very well made up for everything that you did on the call. लेकिन yes, it's a very interesting.
So I delayed the meaty part of your conversation further.
नहीं, that's all.
Let's come back to your agenda.
बाबर, स्टार्ट करते हैं FMCG से. फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स इंडस्ट्री बहुत ही जनरलाइज वर्ड है. बाबर, मैं चाहूंगा पहले तो आप ऑडियंस से थोड़ा सा शेयर करें कि what essentially FMCG entails, और फिर हम थोड़ा सा जाएंगे breaking it down towards the SWOT analysis, और जैसे भी we're just trying to identify कि इस इंडस्ट्री क्या strengths, opportunities, threats और weaknesses हैं, and then we'll take it from there.
No, you're right. It is a generalized word for me. FMCG हम लोग बात कर रहे होते हैं for all kinds of consumer goods companies, right? Within this industry of consumer goods, there's a lot of variety within the supply chain. So at which stage of the supply chain is that company at? For example, if you're a distributor who's selling to retailers, or you're a brand manufacturer. If you're a brand manufacturer, what kind of categories are you dealing with? Whether it's food, whether it's beauty care, whether it's personal hygiene. हर product की nature उसकी dynamics को change करती है. At the same time, are you working for companies जो कि servicing the consumer goods हैं, या फिर आप उसको lead करें? तो there is a variety of organizations who are related to consumer goods. I've had the fortune of working at the distributor level, leading a finance team which is actually distributing in the Middle East to all, to the entire UAE, as well as working for a principal brand manufacturer, where your interest is कि आप उसकी brand की growth करते हैं, and you make sure that this brand is powerful, that enables your sales and the organization's success. So yes, there is a lot of variety within the consumer goods industry. Now, if you talk about strengths and weaknesses, the beauty of working for a brand is that आपकी सारी energy इस बात पे spend होती है how to make sure that this brand की equity बड़ी हो रही है. So all your investments are behind making sure that this brand has a strategic, let's say, top of mind लोगों के रह रहा है, and people when they are going in the market to make choices, they choose selecting your brand to buy. So आपके पास largely, I mean, depending on the categories you're working with, you have good margins. So your margins depending on आपकी कितनी premium है product या कितनी आपकी mass है product, depending on that, your margins would vary. I deal with relatively premium product, at least for the Pakistani market, so the margins are decent. That means that profitability will at the end be a choice. It's for you to make sure that, yeah, how do you invest those margins behind brand, behind selling, and have the efficient structure around you so that क्या brand के ऊपर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा investment कर सकें. But when I was working for a distributor, the priorities and the strengths were completely different. As a distributor, it was about execution, making sure that the product reaches the right channels and the right consumers at the right time in the most cost-efficient way, ताकि वहाँ से आपकी profitability manage हो सके. So they are also working for brands, but it's more focused on execution. And the more the company is efficient, और आजकल की technology की दौर में, I mean, it's all data driven, it's all algorithm driven, it's all the decisions that are made on logistics, on warehousing, is all coming from some kind of systems and technology. It makes it more efficient. Similarly, जब आप काम कर रहे होंगे अपने sales के ऊपर, so किस तरह से आपकी sales की planning होनी है, etc. In distributors, because a lot of distributors take end-to-end sales jobs in their portfolio, so then they have to be very good at selling, again, which is a more executional job.
Babar, you gave us a very good starting point, a nice foundation to take our conversation deeper into distributor and the principal manufacturer model. Babar, if I were to take a few steps back, so Babar, the way I've understood distribution is that it basically provides a bridge between the principal manufacturer to the retailer. एक चीज ये भी और है Babar, which I would like you to shed some light on, is कि लोगों के ज़हन में होता है distribution is just about, getting goods from one place to the other. It's just merely trucking, which essentially it's not. There is a lot of things going on in there. So इस पे आएंगे. और एक analogy जो बाबर आपसे share करना चाहूँगा, and then I'll take your views on it, is that the way I've understood distribution model, because we happen to work together as well at one point, is that, I mean, you could create a parallels with how a restaurant works. So to me, there are three parties essentially. There is a manufacturer, principal manufacturer, then there is a distributor, and then there is this retailer. So principal manufacturer in my mind is like the chef who's working in the kitchen, who's planning the menu, who's putting in the ingredients, is basically making the product. Then the distributor to me is that waiter who's basically assessing ki kya conditions chal rahi hai, which tables need some food, what are the customer demands coming in, and going back to the chef, taking the items and putting it on the tables basically. So he's basically, managing कि कहाँ demand है, किस तरह से जानी चाहिए, is making things presentable, etc. Before taking them to the consumer. And then eventually retailer is basically the restaurant dining table where essentially the action happens and the consumer is coming to eat. And that's where you basically make the products look more appealing
Attractive
to them. So Babar, बहुत सारी बातें मैंने बोल दी, लेकिन allow me to take you into first कि distribution, what is distribution to you? And then let's take it from there.
And I'll come to exactly this. There's also different markets have different roles for each of the actors. So, for example, distributors in the Middle East, where we worked at, were very mature. So, for example, they would actually do the entire sales planning, even trade marketing. So, trade marketing is basically जो आपकी actually at the shopper level किस किस्म की investment होनी चाहिए है, कहाँ पर आपको invest करना है, उसकी planning भी distributor ही कर रहा होता था. And they had a fantastic sales की management and sales की team, and of course the execution of the logistics, etc. and warehousing as well. I find, for example, in Pakistan, the principals play a more stronger role in the planning side, even for trade marketing. And the distributors take it a step slightly less mature as compared to, for example, the Middle East. If you go to the Western markets, there is no distributor over there. The principal brands sell directly to the retailers. So the market, dynamics dictate what role does each of the actors play. अगर हम पाकिस्तान की बात करें, यहाँ पर जो भी, for example, local या international consumer goods companies हैं, most of them do engage a distributor to take the products either to the retailer or e-commerce or the other channels that exist. Because the geography is quite big. For example, the channels that you find in Pakistan, some of them are non-existent in the Western markets. I mean, the grocer, jo Pakistan ka Kiryana store, which still exists in the masses, it does not exist anymore in the Western markets. So, इस तरह की market में principal के लिए बहुत मुश्किल है, because the brand owner is a specialist brand builder. For him, it's very difficult to reach all of those Kiryana stores, groceries directly. So they would always engage a distributor to take the products to the last retailer. At the same time, you would find a lot of companies who work in a hybrid model. So some retailers, the top retailers, they will service directly. Because it's possible that retailers are also mature. Their order processing and their size of the orders and their MOQs, etc., led the principal or the brand owner to actually invest in the logistics or hire the 3PL logistics and service them directly. Whereas at the very deep trade, they will hire distributors. So the shades and the roles of each of these actors changes, and also what is the priority of each of the companies. So, for example, some companies would service a market like Pakistan. They would say that, yeah, if it's a completely trading company, international trading company working in Pakistan, and they sell products from, let's say, anywhere in the world, and they send them to Pakistan, perhaps they need a full scope distributor who even buys from them, warehouses here, does brand activities for them. So you could have even that role for a company, you know, and then sell it eventually to the retailer or the e-tailer or retailer. I keep saying e-tailer because that's a big channel.
Correct, it is.
It's still developing in Pakistan, but it's quite mature in Middle East, for example. So, एक बात तो ये कि हमारे roles की shades change होते रहेंगे. I like the restaurant analogy because all of those jobs exist, but it's depending on the market dynamics, what roles who will take. कि भाई अगर इसमें शेफ के साथ रेस्टोरेंट ओनरशिप किसको लेनी चाहिए, बैरा किसने हायर करना है, will depend on the market dynamics and strategic strengths of each of the companies. So there are some companies who work only with one distributor, and that one distributor is so big and has so many, let's say, it has that kind of a muscle to service a big market like Pakistan, for example. There would be some companies who would work with several distributors. So in a market like Pakistan, which is a big geography, I mean, all the way from north till south, the leading companies would have multiple distributors. You know, so that also varies depending on किस किस्म के partnerships आपको मिल रही हैं, क्या strengths available in the market, और आपकी अपनी क्या strength है. That also makes a difference.
बाबर, इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में अगर आगे लेके जाएं हम लोग और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को थोड़ा सा और ब्रेकआउट करें, जैसे आपने बात की बाबर, यू टॉक्ड अबाउट ई कॉमर्स, यू टॉक्ड अबाउट रिटेल, बाबर थोड़ा सा चैनल पे बात करते हैं कि मतलब कौन से मेजर चैनल्स होते हैं जिसको आप देखते हैं और उसमें क्या फर्क होते हैं, नॉट जस्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ दे आर स्ट्रक्चर्ड बट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी वाइज क्या फर्क होता है.
For sure. This is the most unique thing about FMCG is that the kind of customers you have is quite varied depending on which market you're in, of course. If you're working in the Middle East, for example, you have a big modern trade market. So the modern trade is all those stores, the Carrefours and the Lulus, etc., who are giant retailers. They command a lot of market share. And then you have, you know, a smaller share for example, the small grocery stores that you find below your buildings. And then there's a big role for the e-commerce players. And the international e-commerce players are becoming quite big in the Middle East. In Pakistan, it's a bit different. There are now quite leading modern trade companies. And modern trade से मेरा ये मतलब है that there is enough space in that retail shop. उसके पास इतना covered area है where consumers are going there with their trolleys, picking, selecting products, and there's some level of advertising, some level of, they self-service stores, but it's an experience that they enjoy, you know. Pakistan mein there are much more varieties of modern trade because there's a lot of variety of population, let's say in economic classes. Then you have smaller self-service stores. They're still called modern trade. And then you would have channels which are not even, आज भी पाकिस्तान में exist करता है कि आप बिस्मिल्लाह स्टोर को घर से पर्ची लिख के दो and they will bring all the grocery in a box to you. So that still exists in Pakistan, for example. Now the channel dynamics are completely different. When you're serving large retailers, that means that आपका एक 40-footer container भी हो सकता है या 20-footer container can actually go and take all the products together, which means that if it's a large logistics carrier taking the products there, it will be more efficient because more products will go there. आपका diesel consumption कम होगा, वही एक driver और एक helper साथ जाएगा and they'll be able to service it. So उसकी logistics costs are more efficient. At the same time, you want to give a lot of offers over there because you know that this one retailer commands maybe a big market share, 5-10% का market share हो सकता है उसके पास हो. So you want to make sure that consumers prefer you over anybody else. So there's a lot of investment that is needed in these channels. So while you have efficiencies from a logistics and supply chain point of view, you do have a lot of investments. And plus the retailers, once they have a certain market share, they have a lot of say and a lot of muscle in how much categories should invest in them. So they can dictate. They know that if अगर एक retailer है जिसके पास 10% market share है of consumer goods, let's say, of a certain category, now the leverage he has much more leverage. True. Versus, let's say, a store जिसके पास इतना leverage नहीं है. So it's more costly in terms of serving, in terms of commercial spend, and we can discuss what those commercial spends are at those retailers. If you're talking about e-commerce, now the logistics again, similar to if you're serving large e-commerce players, again the cost to serve could be quite economical because again he would have good warehousing, he would have centralized warehousing where you can deliver together and onwards last mile की journey तो उसके पास अपने पास हो रही होती है. And by the way, I forgot about modern trade. It depends on what is your contract arrangement with the retailer. Some of retailers ask us कि मुझे हर store पे separate delivery करो. Some would ask you that okay, I do have a large centralized warehouse, so accordingly आपकी cost to serve change होगी और आपकी economics change हो जाएगी. So coming on e-commerce, yes, again, efficient to supply to them. They would have quite sophisticated warehousing and ordering systems, etc. At the same time, e-commerce, depending on the maturity of the market, does require a lot of investment on their platforms. So, I mean, banners में आपको invest करना है. And plus, the consumers who are coming on e-commerce, they can compare prices very easily. So if they have this app open, they can have another app open immediately. Buyers are quite smart. So you do want to have the best price, especially if the nature of that e-commerce player is where consumers are going to find the good prices, for example. So you do have more deals over there. You do have to invest in a lot of commercial spends again in these channels to attract the consumers and get your market share. Coming to the more traditional trades, इनको हम पाकिस्तान में कहते हैं self-serving stores भी हैं कुछ उनमें से, some are cosmetic stores, some are pure grocery stores, जो मैं तुमसे बिस्मिल्लाह store की example दे रहा था. These stores, it might be more expensive to deliver the products to them, but now this retailer will not have a lot of leverage, and the margins that he will dictate will not be the same that the big modern trade player would dictate. And the interesting thing about Pakistan that I've seen in the 2 years I've been here, and so there was a 10-year period when I was not in Pakistan and then I came back. The channel landscape has completely changed in these 10 years. There were very few large retailers, and now in Pakistan the large retailers are really expanding, which means that for companies who are looking for customers who go to modern trades, they have to focus on these customers. They have to make sure कि इनकी दुकानों को सजाएं. They have to invest in these shops because this is where the consumer is going to buy. अगर आपका product ऐसा है which needs to be distributed masses में, going to the deep trade, going to गली मोहल्लास, going to villages, for example, आपकी investment जाहिर है in modern trade में कम होगी. So, I mean, your product also defines which channels to use.
Perfect, Babar. As you were defining this very, very clearly, बहुत अच्छा articulately आपने explain किया सारा. I was just taking mental notes here. So basically आपने बोला कि, you know, कि distribution is not sort of one size fits all kind of thing.
Yeah.
There are multiple channels जिसमें आपने बात की. I'm just quickly summarizing. आपने modern trade की बात की, उसके अपने pros and cons. Pros in the sense कि you can get a centralized distribution center where you deliver to, where you have cost efficiencies, versus then you have to invest. And for the benefit of audience, when you say invest, basically you have to give them discounts, you have to give them some offers, etc. So you have modern trade. आपने traditional trade की बात की कि बहुत fragmented हो सकता है कि भाई 50,000 लाखों shops हैं, and then you have to deliver each one of them, so the cost to serve is very high. At the same time, they don't exercise the same level of leverage, so you don't have to offer them a lot of discounts. Yeah, आपने e-commerce की बात की, of course. But in sub situations में, where does the wholesaler sit, and why is wholesaler important if it is?
For sure. I mean, what happens is, especially in the markets, and wholesaler, by the way, is important even in mature markets. But especially in markets like Pakistan, where if your company doesn't have the muscle to distribute to, I mean, 5 lakh दुकानें, Pakistan में today consumer goods can probably reach 4-5 lakh दुकानें. Now, either you service them directly, or you would have sub-distributors or wholesalers who can buy from you, and then retailers can come and buy from that wholesaler. So that kind of makes your job simpler. So complexity कम करते हैं. Obviously, then the wholesaler does have more leverage than that fragmented place, but cost to service सस्ता हो जाएगा. So the wholesaler sits in between these channels because ultimately आपका ये जो go to market है, all of these channels are ultimately how to reach your consumer. तो अगर आपने गांव देहात तक भी अपना प्रोडक्ट पहुंचाना है, I don't know of what कोई personal hygiene का, ये सारे रास्ते हैं जहां तक उस consumer तक पहुंचना है वो product. In that journey, if you think यार there is a wholesaler who can buy from multiple brands, multiple categories even, and then distribute it to that smaller retailers, it just makes much more sense. You know, so that's where probably the wholesaler was it. In mature markets, sometimes you need the wholesaler to consolidate, and also sometimes wholesalers के पास आपको पता है कि आपने इस साल में फलाना आपका target है. And the wholesaler is able to invest in working capital. So he can buy from you, invest in the working capital now, and that's how they become an important player even in more mature markets.
Gaps fill करते हैं basically, right?
Gaps fill करते हैं and you know investment करते हैं working capital.
I remember in our days when you used to close the P&L, it used to come to us कि यार बाबर wholesale की sale बहुत नजर आ रही है, क्या हुआ है?
So just for the audience, he was working in a corporate side where I was running the business.
I know.
So corporate वाला सवाल पूछता था, हम कहते हम जो भी बता देते
बिल्कुल,
तुमको, you know, it would
बिल्कुल।
sell. Mix effect.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मैं जरूर शेयर करना चाहूंगा द डे बाबर रियलाइज कि यार आई आल्सो हैव एक्सेस टू हिज बैलेंस शीट ही वाज रियली अपसेट अबाउट इट बैलेंस शीट क्यों
Yeah, balance sheet is something quite sacred to CFOs. They don't want anybody else to see that. Yeah.
अभी उसके बाद आते हैं, we'll just break down the structure of P&L balance sheet. उससे पहले बस एक छोटा सा anecdote मैं share करूंगा, and I already foresee this discussion is going to already stretch the hour that we booked for it because it's becoming very interesting, Babar. So thank you very much again in the middle of the
Yeah, I
conversation.
do talk too much, you know.
No, you do, but you do talk very well also. तो बाबर मैं एक छोटा सा एनेक्डोट शेयर करना चाहता बिफोर आई अंडरस्टूड हाउ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इंडस्ट्री वर्क्स। बड़ा एक मजेदार सीन हुआ कि आई वाज वॉकिंग थ्रू द आयल इन अ Carrefour इन दुबई, और मैं वो बंदा खड़ा था, मैंने उससे पूछा, अच्छा मैं था समझ लें आप सर्व के सेक्शन में, और मैं उससे पूछा था कि यार वो पैम्पर्स किधर रखे हैं या वो टीवी वाला आयल किधर, वो बात ही नहीं सुनता था, मैं चला जाता। मैं कहता यार कैसे बंदे रखे हैं Carrefour ने, इनको कुछ पता ही नहीं है। एंड लेटर आई मीन व्हेन आई really got deep into distribution, I realized that these are basically merchandisers who are hired by the distributor. They don't represent Carrefour. They wouldn't know where such and such things are kept because they're only responsible for their shelf. They're essentially following the planogram कि यार चीज किधर रखी होनी चाहिए, कैसे रखी होनी चाहिए, etc. So बाबर यहाँ से I would just encourage you to break some stereotypes around क्या distribution के अंदर और क्या चीज होती है, लोगों को पता ही नहीं होता।
अच्छा, not just distribution के stereotypes, finance के stereotypes.
Finance
Because
के
देखो, as a finance professional, आपको actually पता होना चाहिए कि आपका धंधा कैसे चल रहा है। So you talk of merchandisers. Merchandisers are people basically जो दुकान सजाते हैं। So either the brand takes care of the salaries or the distributor takes care of the salaries. Retailers can also take care of the salaries depending on क्या आपका contract arrangement है। या फिर इसी का एक parallel है beauty advisor. So if you go to an aisle and there is a person standing over there जो आपको advise करिए कि फला skin cream लगाओ या फला makeup लगाओ, they're kind of, let's say, people at a modern trade store who are encouraging you to buy X versus Y.
Yes.
You know. Now, these are very important actors in this whole supply chain in order to serve the consumer. Merchandiser's job would be to make sure that the aisles are looking beautiful. One way or the other, he has to make sure that when a consumer is passing by, the products are catching his eye. अच्छा, इसके behind बहुत science आ गई है. So, for example, when a brand owner decides how his products should be displayed, there's a lot of science behind with how the products are displayed and the consumers picking it up for buying it. For example, एक time I was working for a company जहाँ पे we realized that यार हमने जो है merchandiser से हमने कहा है कि यार ये product ना उसके हाथ के सामने हमेशा होना चाहिए ताकि top row पे आए. And we later realized कि actually the merchandiser are much taller than our consumers who are women. तो वो अगर हाथ के ऊपर रख रहा है, that's not ideal for a consumer. So the brand owners and इसके ऊपर साइंस पे काम करते हैं कि how the product should be displayed. कितनी स्पेस है आपका? So for example, when in a modern trade store, you mentioned Carrefour, that shelf space is not for free. You're actually paying rent to the retailer for that space. So you have to make sure that ये अगर मैं किराया दे रहा हूँ space का, through contract margins, it's best optimally utilized.
Perfect, Babar. आपने बहुत ही जबरदस्त तरीके से जना, you've broken down a lot of things that I personally didn't understand or didn't know before I came into distribution. Care. Distribution is not just moving goods around. Distribution is a whole science around how do you bring the goods, how do you warehouse them, how do you then take them to the market, और market में जाने के बाद क्या क्या चीज होती हैं. Babar, I think this is the perfect starting point to break out into the P&L. So, Babar, would you help us break out how the P&L or help us visualize P&L कैसा लगता है एक FMCG?
Yeah, देखो, the unique thing about the FMCG P&L, and I'll draw some parallels to a standard, let's say, in other companies would be that starts with a gross to net. Basically, जो मैं sales कर रहा हूँ, उसके behind बहुत सारी investments कर रहा हूँ. So, for example, if I'm selling either to a distributor or to a retailer for 100, I invest behind selling that 100. So that 100 has, और तुमने IFRS का तुमको पता है कि they explain कि कौन-कौन सी वो spendings हैं that you have to deduct from this invoiced sale price. So the P&L starts from invoice sales minusing all the investments that I do. And these investments are of varied nature. For example, अगर तुम्हारा distributor hire किया हुआ तुमने, so that distributor has a certain margin and he makes, so if he is buying products from you, he also demands some money for himself. So those kinds of margins are also deducted from there. अगर मैं discounts पे spend कर रहा हूँ, for example, जो मैं consumer को दे रहा हूँ या फिर मैं retailer को दे रहा हूँ वो discount to be able to buy my products, those are deducted from my invoice sales. And even if I'm doing certain kind of branding at retail store level, or for example at the e-commerce e-tailer level, which are linked to the sales. कि अगर तुम ये products buy करते हो मुझसे, then these banners will be put up. या अगर तुम मुझसे ये products of X value buy करते हो, तो these shop के ऊपर ये decoration लगेगी, for example, या फिर एक गंडोला लगेगा, which is linked to the product itself. all of those kind of investments, we have different terms for them. So they're all called in a big blanket of customer allowances. So अगर for example I just mentioned कि जो हमारा merchandiser की shelf space है उसका किराया देना पड़ता है. So that is an allowance that I'm giving to that retailer because he does a contract with me. Let's say if as a brand owner I sell directly to a retailer and the contract is कि यार my actual market share is 5%, but he will give me the shelf space of 10%. He's not going to give it for free. उसके लिए वो मुझे charge करेगा. Whether as a percentage or as an absolute value, all of such kind of investments at the shop are then deducted from the product that I sell because these investments are directly linked to the sales that I make. So this is the gross to net to arrive at the net sales that I do for this for my P&L. So my net sales doesn't start from what I invoice, but I deduct all of these things from it.
Interesting.
इसके बाद of course cost of product है, and the cost of product depending on the industry you're in. If you're working for a distributor, तो आपने principal से खरीदा होगा और वो आपकी cost बन जाएगी. But if you're a manufacturer yourself, so you would have a whole costing behind how those products are purchased. There are a lot of companies जो कि जिनके पास एक selling company होती है, and then they have factories. The factories sell to the selling company, which means that I will still be buying or importing or locally produced goods. Ultimately, it's cost of sales. But from those cost of sales, there are other elements that are included in my costs, which before I arrive at my gross margins. So stuff like my physical distribution cost. If I'm paying royalties, for example. So for example, अगर आप एक international company पाकिस्तान में काम कर रही है and they are paying royalties, so that kind of becomes essentially a cost of that product because that's the cost you incur to be able to sell those products. So all of those costs will be deducted from your sales to arrive at the gross margin. तो product cost आ गई, physical distribution आ गई. अगर कुछ slow moving के provisions लेने हैं, expenses लेने हैं, because a lot of time consumer good companies में you launch products and suddenly you realize that some products do not do so well. तो उसके लिए फिर आपको उसके कुछ obsolete products हो रहे होंगे और उस risk को cover करने के लिए आप किसी किस्म के provisions ले रहे होंगे slow moving के. तो all those kind of charges also are deducted before you arrive at your gross margins. Gross margins के बाद दो big heads होते हैं P&L में. The first is all kinds of marketing spends, advertising and marketing. In the FMCG world, at least from the brand owner's point of view, these are considered as a very positive spending. Because ये वो spending है जिसमें आप sale push नहीं कर रहे, खरीद नहीं रहे, आप brand build कर रहे हो long term के लिए. अगर मैं दुकान पे discount दे रहा हूँ, तो it's a pushing the sale for a very short term gratification. Versus if I am able to invest behind the brand, वहाँ पर आपको brand को strategic फायदा रहता है, long term, immediate sales नहीं मिलती, but long term में brand की equity बढ़ती है. So all kinds of advertising that you do. These days there's a lot of influencer marketing that we do. For a lot of companies do. Because अब consumer की जो content कहाँ पे वो देख रहा है, that has completely changed. I mean even in Pakistan now I see everybody is on YouTube. I mean my own house, I'm the only one who watches actually television, वो भी सिर्फ cricket के लिए. उसके अलावा consumers बहुत different forums पे जाके कंटेंट लेकर आ रहे हैं, एप्स के अंदर बैनर्स आ रहे हैं. तो ऑल ऑफ दोज काइंड्स ऑफ कंटेंट्स एंड स्पेंड्स आर कंसीडर्ड एडवर्टाइजिंग एंड मार्केटिंग स्पेंड्स. आफ्टर दैट इज ऑल द ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट ऑफ द कंपनी इटसेल्फ. तनख्वाहें पे कर रहे हैं लोगों को, गाड़ियां अगर खरीदी हुई हैं या ऑफिस का रेंट्स है एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. बिफोर यू अराइव एट लेट्स से ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट्स. Operating profits के बाद भी there are a couple of very important things. There's a lot of financing that you have to do depending on what's your cash cycle. So there's of course financial income and expenses and of course taxes. So अगर आपके पास सब चीजों के बाद अगर आप UAE में तो it's now I mean March से बहुत सारी companies में और कुछ companies में पहले taxes अब लगे, but corporate taxes becomes a big part of your P&L as well before you actually have the final profit जो कि आप actually owners को distribute कर सकते हैं.
Correct. So बाबर, आपने जिस तरह एक्सप्लेन किया P&L बाबर, तो इसमें मैं समझता हूँ कि दो यूनिक चीजें हैं in a FMCG P&L versus. तो एक तो जैसे आपने ग्रोस टू नेट का बताया, वो एक यूनिक चीज है जो कि एक स्टैंडर्ड P&L में नहीं होंगी, which is only found in FMCG or distributed P&L. And the other one was brand spend.
Brand building, yeah, advertising.
तो बाबर थोड़ा सा इसको मुझे एक चीज बताइएगा, जो ट्रेड स्पेंडिंग है जो आपने बताया, जो पुश करने के लिए स्पेंडिंग होती है, that which you net off from your gross sales versus this, इसके दो एग्जांपल्स दीजिएगा.
अगर मैं टीवी पे इश्तिहार चला रहा हूँ, इससे जरूरी नहीं कि आज कंज्यूमर इमीडिएटली जाके खरीदना शुरू कर दे. इससे वो जब कल को जाएगा दुकान में, तो दैट ब्रांड विल बी ऑन टॉप ऑफ हिज माइंड एंड ही विल प्रोबेबली मेक दैट परचेज. या उसने अगर एक टीवी पे इश्तिहार देखा, उसने कहा यार दिस आइडेंटिफाई विद दीज काइंड्स ऑफ इमोशंस जो उस एड में सेल कर रहे थे, उस एड में वो पोर्ट्रे कर रहे थे. या फिर अगर मैं फॉर एग्जांपल दुकान में जाके एक इश्तिहार लगा रहा हूँ जिसपे लिखा हुआ है 10% ऑफ, ये अभी के लिए मैंने स्पेंडिंग करी है, और ये अगर 10% ऑफ है वो इस दिन लगा हुआ है और कंज्यूमर इसलिए प्रोडक्ट उठा लेता है। दोनों तरह से हम कंज्यूमर को ही एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, कंज्यूमर को ही टारगेट कर रहे हैं, दैट ही प्रेफर्स आवर प्रोडक्ट्स ओवर द लेट्स से कंपटीशन। हाउएवर व्हेन इट्स डन एट द सेल्स लेवल एंड इट्स लिंक्ड डायरेक्टली टू सेल्स, कि अगर ये सेल होगी तो ये कॉस्ट आ रही है, दैट कम्स इन द ग्रोस टू नेट। और अगर ब्रांड बिल्डिंग के लिए स्पेंडिंग हो रही है, मार्केटिंग स्पेंड्स हो रहे हैं, तो दे कम इनटू द एडवर्टाइजिंग स्पेंड। एंड देयर आर वेरी यूनिक थिंग्स दैट आर इन एडवर्टाइजिंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन द काइंड ऑफ इंडस्ट्री यू आर एट। सैंपल्स देते हैं आजकल, आई मीन यू गो अक्रॉस, आपको कितने सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जिनके सैंपल्स दुकान पे मिल रहे हैं। नाउ दिस इज अ सैंपल जिससे वो जरूरी नहीं कि खरीद रहा हो, तो एटलीस्ट इन द कंपनी दैट आई वर्क इन सैंपल्स को प्योरली मार्केटिंग स्पेंड समझाता है। एक जमाने में तो रिसालों में आ रहे होते थे सैंपल्स, अब तो रिसालों का कल्चर खत्म हो चुका है। जनरेट सम ट्रायल, तो अगर आप ट्रायल जनरेट करना चाह रहे हैं, ब्रांड अवेयरनेस पे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, ब्रांड इक्विटी बड़ी करना चाह रहे हैं, टीवी के इश्तिहारों के जरिए, या फिर मैगजीन्स एक जमाने में होते थे, या फिर आप कंटेंट ऑन मेटा और अदर सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स, all of those spendings will be considered advertising and marketing, versus most of the spendings at the store or at a banner to have that 10% off, which is linked directly to the sale. So agar, if you have an e-commerce website and you want to run an offer, but और मुझे तुम पे बैनर भी लगाना है, और तुमको बैनर मैं आपको दूंगा अगर आप मुझे ये ऑफ दें, now it's a gray area that each company will decide, but it's since it's linked to you buying the product from me, I will net it off from my sales.
परफेक्ट। बाबर, यहाँ से चलते हैं बैलेंस शीट के ऊपर। सो जहाँ तक मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है बाबर, ये जो एफएमसीजी कंपनीज, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, प्रिंसिपल, इनकी बैलेंस शीट दे आर नॉट एसेट लाइट बैलेंस शीट। और मैंने ऐसे एसेट लाइट नहीं है, इसका मतलब एसेट हैवी है, विच इज प्राइमरली इन द करंट एसेट सेक्शन, जो वर्किंग कैपिटल इन्वेस्ट हुआ होता है, विच इज ऑफ कोर्स द इन्वेंट्री दैट यू बिल्ड अप, द रिसीवेबल्स जो बिल्ड हो जाते हैं, उसके अगेंस्ट सारे पेबल्स आ जाते हैं। सो ऑफ कोर्स ये जो वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल है, ये बड़ा क्रूशल हो जाता है मैनेज करने के लिए, ऑफ कोर्स देन स्पीक्स टू द कैश फ्लो। सो बाबर, एफएमसीजी बाय डेफिनेशन इज अ फास्ट moving consumer, जिसमें you have to make sure that the products fly off the shelf very quick and the cash comes in very fast. So बाबर, इसमें आपके क्या experiences रहे हैं, some of the things that you would want to share?
Sure. नहीं, जो एसेट लाइट है डिपेंड ये भी करता है, तुम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स की बात कर रहे थे, इफ दे आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन अ वेयरहाउस दैट विल बी देयर फॉर नेक्स्ट 20 years, दे कुड हैव assets heavy as well, depend on that as well. But for sure, जो सबसे important balance sheet items हैं for consumer good company, whether at the distributor or at the principal, will be around working capital. Because you do invest in receivables, because you do offer credit in the market, depending on the channels and depending on the life cycle of the product. आपका प्रोडक्ट कितने दिन उसकी शेल्फ पे रहता है, उससे ड्राइव होगी बहुत सारी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नेगोशिएशन। एंड बाय द वे, फॉर फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल्स इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड आपकी कैटेगरी क्या है। इफ यू आर सेलिंग मसाला दैट churns quite quickly, probably the margin of the category is not that much, and probably he will not buy too much of your stocks because उसको बहुत सारे वेयरहाउस करने की जरूरत नहीं, उसमें वो बड़ा रियल टाइम इन्वेंट्री रखेगा 2 हफ्ते की, एंड he'll buy again and he'll buy again, तो रिसीवेबल भी कम जनरेट होंगे। तो इसमें बड़ा लिंक्ड है, मेरी बैलेंस शीट में कितना रिसीवेबल होगा, वो मेरा कस्टमर स्टॉक डेज कितने रख रहा है। एंड इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल्स टू अंडरस्टैंड, स्पेशली व्हेन दे आर नेगोशिएटिंग विद द कस्टमर्स। तो मैं यूजुअली अगर अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के साथ काम कर रहा हूँ, तो दिस इज अ फाइन बैलेंस वी ट्राई टू अचीव, कि मैं तुमको रिसीवेबल डेज दूंगा, आई विल सेल यू एट क्रेडिट, तुम कितने दिन का स्टॉक अपने पास रखोगे, तो दैट काइंड ऑफ अ बैलेंस। So of course receivable becomes an important thing, important asset on my balance sheet, जिसके अराउंड बहुत सारे risks भी होते हैं। In some markets you want to actually, I mean in the UAE we were discussing before, there is credit insurance available, so that at least the international companies want to stay very secure. In some less mature, financially mature markets, credit insurance is not available. तो उसको फाइनेंस करने के बहुत सारे और तरीके हैं, and we can discuss those. Of course the inventories themselves, you would want to have क्या रियल टाइम इन्वेंट्रीज, बिकॉज जितना कम आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट होगी वर्किंग कैपिटल में, उतना ही यू विल हैव जनरेट पॉजिटिव कैश फ्लो। सो यू वुड वांट कि इन्वेंट्रीज कम रखूं जो कि इमीडिएटली सेल हो। एट द सेम टाइम व्हाट आई डोंट वांट इज कि एक ऑर्डर आया, वो इन्वेंट्री मेरे पास ना बनी हुई हो। तो यू नीड टू हैव दैट फाइन बैलेंस। द डिस्कशंस आई ऑलवेज हैव विद माय ऑपरेशंस कोलीग्स is regarding safety stocks. I would want them to keep zero safety stocks and have perfect forecast accuracy. So forecasting, by the way, in the FMCG world is a very important process. It's a fundamental process which operations team does, based on which all the budgets and all the planning actually takes place. So मैं as a CFO with my operations के colleagues, this is the typical kind of conversation that we have. Care, I would want them to keep the lowest level of inventories without missing any one rupee of sale. So that's a balance that we have to always arrive at. Of course, you try to counter both of these through your payable days. Okay, when I'm buying from factories or buying from vendors, you want to elongate those days ताकि ये फाइनेंस कर पाए मेरे वर्किंग कैपिटल। तो जितने मैं पेबल डेज बढ़ाऊंगा उतने मेरे पास अगेन कैश पॉजिटिव होगा। So these are the kind of things. Another important thing that becomes balance sheet items in FMCG world, especially from the principal side, एक तरफ payable और एक तरफ receivable from the distributor, is all of these investments that we do at trade level, the discounts, etc. Sometimes this is something that the brand owner finances and is actually spent by the distributor. So distributor spends it to, I don't know, the retailer on behalf of the principal and subsequently raises a claim to the brand owner and says कि यार ये पैसे मुझे तुम fund करो। तो for example, there is a product X का brand owner है and they want discounts in the market. The distributor is not going to fund it from his own pockets. So what he would ask is कि यार तुम fund करो as a brand owner this discount को। So then but retailer doesn't know the principle because this distributor sitting in the middle is actually selling to the retailer. तो अभी cash spending ये कर देगा, subsequently वो इससे claim करेगा। तो these claims की management एक साइड पे payable एक साइड पे receivable becomes a big challenge and big part of the balance sheet also, which affects the cash cycles as well.
So true, so true. I mean, we've lived this together, and
Yes.
you're absolutely
I'm still
right.
living it. Now I'm at the other side where it's a payable for me as a claim where I'm working today. And when we were working together at the distributor, this was all those receivables.
बाबा distributor के लिए ज़्यादा challenging हो जाता है, right? Because you have spent money now, right? Based on however you got the direction from the principal. अब you have to claim that money back from the principal. अगर for whatever reason it doesn't come through because of X, Y, and Z, then you find yourself in a big hole.
देखो सही कह रहे हो तुम, और इसके लिए the principals are more and more smarter as time goes, and technology has made it possible for them to really do a proper due diligence of those claims.
जी.
So, and this is a risk area for the principals because they want to make sure they're only paying for money that was actually spent in the trade. They don't want to finance anything that was not actually delivered at the trade level.
Correct.
So, और इसके लिए बड़ी टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज है आजकल। You know, ये जो हम planograms की बात कर रहे हैं, around that there's a lot of AI driven pictures, etc., to be able to prove कि हाँ यार कि जो आपने कहा था गंडोला दुकान में लगेगा तो वाकई लगा हुआ था या नहीं लगा हुआ था। Similarly, डेटा एक्सचेंज होता है तो you know तो यार उसकी जो POS का डेटा है, you would want to get that to know that okay, this discount was actually passed on to the final consumer if it's a discount on the shelf, for example. So yeah, this is a big, let's say, headache almost in the FMCG world, both for the distributor, me with the CFO of my distributor. सबसे ज्यादा conversation around ये होती है। मैं ऐसे कह रहा हूँ कि यार तुम्हारा dues नहीं अभी तक आए। In the Pakistani environment, you want to make sure the collections come at the due date. And he says always कि यार तुमने अभी तक मेरे claims तो दिए नहीं है। So this is a very common conversation that you have in this FMCG world.
बाबर अच्छे conversations वो होते हैं जिसमें आपको time का पता ना लगे और exactly वही हो रहा है यहाँ पर। I didn't realize how fast we moved around, but this has been very interesting, nothing short of interesting. थोड़ी सी चीज और रह गई हैं बाबर, क्योंकि आपने बात की कि P&L और बैलेंस शीट में बहुत सारे सेंसिटिव टच पॉइंट्स, आपने मार्जिन्स की बात की, आपने यू टॉक्ड अबाउट ब्रांड स्पेंडिंग, फिर हम बैलेंस शीट, सो इस सारी चीजों में प्लानिंग विच इज बजटिंग बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज जैसे कहते हैं ना कि मतलब while you budget to make sure कि आप foresight हो आपकी, लेकिन the reality also is that no plan survives the first contact with the enemy. तो plan जरूर hit होते हैं with reality.
And you react.
Right, and then you react. So बाबा इस पे थोड़े से अपने experiences share
No,
करें.
for sure. I think budgeting and planning, and in fact, it's a very key finance competence that you need to have. I mean, these days, the kind of people you're hiring are not accountants. You're hiring what we call in our company controllers. In some companies, they call FP&A, which is this budgeting and planning. And essentially, this is a risk management function. Because what is risk? क्या unanticipated चीज कोई हो तो that is a risk for me, right? So पहले आपने anticipation build करनी है. That is what a budget is. So budgeting a process, for example, for me it starts from the macro environment that you exist in. सबसे पहले ही बात करेंगे कि यार ये the categories that I'm selling, इन categories में growth होगी कितनी अगले साल at the industry level. और वो इन्फ्लुएंस होगी फ्रॉम द मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ दैट कंट्री। तो अगर कंट्री की ग्रोथ X% है, वो कैटेगरी की कुछ कैटेगरीज उस X से ज्यादा ग्रो कर रही होंगी, कुछ कैटेगरी X से कम ग्रो कर रही होंगी। इफ यू आर सेलिंग समथिंग व्हिच इज डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू पॉपुलेशन, अगर आप डब्बे का दूध बेच रहे हैं जो बच्चे पिएंगे, अगर पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ ज्यादा है तो दूध ज्यादा अगले साल कैटेगरी बढ़ेगी उसकी। इफ यू आर सेलिंग समथिंग व्हिच इज नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन पॉपुलेशन, which is dependent on consumer habits, तो फिर वो habits के हिसाब से बनेगी। So it all starts with the macro environment. In some mature markets, you have very good data on the categories and industries. पाकिस्तान में कभी कभार ये challenge होता है, but we do get quality data as well. And your underlying, यानी पहला assumption आपका budgeting का anticipation build करने के लिए वो ये होता है कि यार इस category की growth होगी कितनी। फिर आप ये कहते हैं यार ये category तो X grow करेगी. How much does my brand want to grow against that category? Do I want to grow twice that? Do I want to be at the category level? And this is a strategy that the company has to decide at. Because accordingly, उसको investment भी करनी पड़ेगी. You cannot do 2x of the category and not invest at twice of the market as well. So those kind of things then drive the strategy. So the company then has to decide कि based on the category growth, what is the kind of strategy that the company wants. मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूं रियल कि आजकल का जो पाकिस्तान के इकोनॉमिक एनवायरनमेंट है, कंपनीज आर मोर वॉचफुल. दे आर सेइंग ओके लेट्स बी लेट्स नॉट बी सो बुलिश बिकॉज आपको जरा सा एंटिसिपेट नहीं कर पा रहे वेयर डज एक्सचेंज रेट गो, वेयर डज इंटरेस्ट रेट गो. तो आप थोड़ा सा केयरफुल रह रहे हैं. तो अपनी ग्रोथ की एम्बिशंस को लोगों ने अगले सालों के लिए उतनी बुलिश नहीं रखी हुई जितना पहले रख रहे होते थे. If the market is doing fantastic and there is a good growth coming up, you would want to be the leader in that category growth and you want to make sure कि हम उसमें invest भी करें.
Correct.
So that's the let's say assumptions based. उसके बाद बड़ा important FMCG का हमने अभी पहले भी बात की forecasting. So there's a S&OP cycle, sales and operations something cycle जो कि operations का एक fundamental काम है. What they do is that at the level of granularity that the company wants, they actually forecast the next 12 महीने का या depending on whatever time horizon ये SKU, ये प्रोडक्ट का एक यूनिट कितना बिके. एंड दे डू इट बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन ट्रेंड. फॉर एग्जांपल दे विल क्रिएट एस्टिमेट ऑफ अ बेस लाइन कि अगर आपका ब्रांड एक्स है, वो सालों से अगर उसमें कोई प्रमोशन नहीं कर रहे, कोई डिस्काउंट नहीं दे रहे, कोई इश्तहार नहीं चल रहे, तो कितना बिकता है. तो दैट बिकम्स अ बेस लाइन. Then that is topped up with what we call in the FMCG world building blocks. So building blocks are, for example, अगर आपको पता है कि मैं distribution expand करूंगा, तो let's say more retailers are going to buy it. That means उस बेसलाइन के ऊपर आई विल गेट मोर ग्रोथ. फिर आपने कहा फला मंथ्स में आई विल गिव डिस्काउंट्स दैट इज गोइंग टू, सो आई एम गोइंग टू गेट मोर शेयर फ्रॉम द कंपटीशन. वो एक और बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक बन जाता है. या फिर अगर आपको लग रहा है कि यार मैं कुछ इस किस्म की एडवर्टाइजिंग कर रहा हूँ जो इमीडिएट सेल जनरेट करेगी, या तो मैं उसके लिए भी करूंगा. फिर आपको ईद आएगी अगर आपके प्रोडक्ट्स ईद रेलेवेंट हैं, इफ यू आर सेलिंग कॉस्मेटिक्स for example, or so these are all the building blocks, then that will make up the total sale through that forecasting cycle. And finance will use that forecasting information, price it. So pricing के decisions is a combination of marketing and finance. तो उसकी pricing के decisions ले रहे होंगे, क्या price increase लेना है, कब लेना है, ahead of inflation, at inflation, या हमने last year बहुत ले लिया था, इस दफा मैं नहीं लूंगा. तो all of those decisions you will make, agree, and उसको फिर आप price करके आपके पास एक तरह से sales की forecast आ जाती है. And this sales forecast becomes the fundamental of everything else. अगर आपने sales forecast बहुत ambitious रखी हुई है, तो इसका मतलब है कि you'll generate a lot of margins and it will give you space to invest in that margin. साथ में आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि आपके पास inflationary impact क्या है cost के point of view से. So you will estimate कि अगर ये मैं product बेच रहा हूँ, but you know that I don't know in the next 12 months fuel costs are going to rise pretty high. So इसका मतलब है physical distribution की costs वो नहीं रहेंगी ratio wise जो last year थी. So they are going to go up. And similarly, all the other cost heads that you have to estimate them and make a P&L forecast. Is P&L forecast will then lead into a cash flow forecast. Because for me, as a CFO, I mean, जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा, profit is like a choice, but cash flow पे कोई compromise नहीं होता. तो आपको cash flow तो आप कम profit, कम सेल करें या ज्यादा सेल करें, मुझे cash तो पूरा चाहिए. तो फिर you have to take, आप उसमें assumptions लेंगे, हमने working capital की बात की, उसकी assumptions लेंगे to arrive at a cash flow forecast, और पूरा cash flow build कर रहे होते हैं. And for finance professionals, especially in the mid tier, जिनकी financial modeling की skills अच्छी हैं, they are able to do good budgeting exercise because उनकी assumptions अच्छी बनी होंगी. Usually good companies would have nice software to help you do all of this. But अगर नहीं भी है software, तो you can make fantastic financial models to do a good बजटिंग साइकिल जो हम अपनी कंपनी में किया करते थे.
बिल्कुल बाबर आपने पूरे जो बजटिंग का प्रोसेस बताया है, इसमें आई वाज ग्लैड दैट यू टच्ड अपॉन द बैलेंस शीट एज वेल, बिकॉज़ होता है ये जनरली पीपल आर सो लॉस्ट इन द P&L बजटिंग एंड फोरकास्टिंग, दे कंप्लीटली इग्नोर बैलेंस शीट फोरकास्ट. सो इसमें जैसे हमने कैश फ्लो की बात की बाबर, अब इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है स्पेशली ना, जैसे हम कहते हैं ना कैश इज किंग, बट इन एन FMCG बिजनेस इट्स द होल किंगडम.
इट इज आई मीन माय जो ग्रुप की बॉस है या मेरे रीजन की बॉस है, शी सिट्स आउटसाइड ऑफ पाकिस्तान. She asks, I mean, for her, my profit is a given. कि ये तो तुम करोगे ही, but cash तुमने किया या नहीं किया, and that is a question that I am challenged on all the time. And then cash has some aspects which are more external to the normal business. For example, पाकिस्तान में taxation is quite complex. लास्ट ईयर कुछ इस तरह के टैक्सेस आए जहां पर यार व्हेन यू सेल प्रोडक्ट्स टू द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर उस पे भी आपने विदहोल्ड कर देना है टैक्स और गवर्नमेंट को जमा करा देना है. फॉर एग्जांपल दैट्स नथिंग टू डू विद द बिजनेस फंडामेंटल. गवर्नमेंट ने लॉ लाया और मेरे कैश फ्लोज को हिट करना शुरू कर देगा. यहाँ पे सुपर टैक्स आया तो इसका मतलब है कि यार दैट्स बिजनेस अच्छा भी चल रहा होगा तो मेरा बॉटम लाइन में इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा बिकॉज टैक्सेशन इस तरह से हो रही है. इंटरेस्ट रेट्स they're going to impact my cash flows. Not so much my P&L otherwise. I mean, yes, of course, the profitability को करेंगे impact, लेकिन sales को नहीं करेंगे. Because अगर interest rates last year पाकिस्तान के, they were, at very high double-digit rates. तो मेरा वो सारा इंटरेस्ट बैंक्स लेके चले जाएंगे जो कैश में पे करना है. तो इंटरेस्ट रेट्स ऑफ कोर्स, आई मीन एज अ कंपनी यू हैव टू पे दैट फ्रॉम योर कैश फ्लोज एज वेल, तो वो भी इफेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं. So yeah, these would be the things that would affect the budget.
Babar, मेरे ख्याल है we've done more than just justice to this topic
I hope
around
so.
FMCG and distribution, because आपने इतनी डिटेल में explain किया, and as I said at the start of my podcast, इस episode के लिए जब मैंने introduction में कहा था कि you are deep rooted into FMCG and you have absolutely done justice to that. You're not just deep rooted, you're a stalwart of this industry. That's the least I could say about this. So thank you very much, Babar, for taking us all through the FMCG journey. क्या channels हैं, क्या profitability है, P&L, balance sheet, forecasting कैसे करनी है, और सब चीजें around working capital. So that was amazing. I think this session could easily exceed the time that we've booked for it. So I think we'll put a full stop here on this. Babar, एक interesting चीज जो आपकी profile के अंदर है कि आपने जो है यूएई और पाकिस्तान में काम किया है, and then you have seen both the industries. So Babar, आप किस तरीके से इन दोनों इंडस्ट्रीज को कॉन्ट्रास्ट करेंगे? एक तो ये है, और दूसरा बाबर, आजकल जैसे हम देखते हैं पाकिस्तान में देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रेंड वेयर पीपल आर फोकस अराउंड गोइंग अब्रॉड. तो बाबर, कहाँ जाना चाहिए, कब जाना चाहिए, क्या सही टाइम है या नहीं है सही जाना?
So the industries की बात करते हैं, I'm assuming distributor and the principal, which side of the, both are very important, especially in our parts of the world. And how it's working now for most, leading companies, there's a hybrid model.
Right.
You service some customers directly and you have distributors where you service some other customers. And it depends on कि आपके पास risk appetite क्या है, because there's a lot of risks that the distributor can assume, which some, at least the international companies, will not be able to assume. कितने ज़्यादा mature है market कि distributor के एक सवाल अक्सर ये चलता है कि is it relevant anymore? Especially now that principals can directly sell to the large international retailers. Or large retailers. So at least for the Asian markets, there is a role that distributor continues to play. And I don't see that, changing drastically in the immediate short term or even in the immediate term. But yes, जो larger retailers हैं, वहाँ पर principals do want to, cut the middleman out and service directly the retailer. We see that in the UAE, we see that even in Pakistan and some of the other markets as well. तो तुम्हारा दूसरा सवाल था रिगार्डिंग वर्किंग इन पाकिस्तान एंड वर्किंग आउटसाइड ऑफ पाकिस्तान. फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा एक्सपीरियंस यूएई के साथ ही है. यार इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट. आई थिंक व्हेन यू वर्किंग इन पाकिस्तान, somehow when you working in your home country, एक तो आपको कोई cultural lost in translations नहीं होते. The first thing what happens when you go out that smacks you in the face is कि everybody in the world, all the different nationalities and cultures are so different. And sometimes you're not prepared for it. So and you need to quickly adapt, and you need to quickly understand that, for example, a lot of the cultures, without generalizing, a lot of the culture from the Asian side, especially in the Far East, they are not very expressive, they're not very vocal, they're not very loud. Pakistan mein har aadmi is very loud and they're very expressive and they're always agitation or confrontation ka environment hai. So we must make sure that यार हमारा जो ऑडियंस है या जो हमारा स्टेक होल्डर है, हम उसको समझें और हम उसके हिसाब से अपनी कम्युनिकेशन और अपनी टोन और अपनी choice of words, and we have to be careful about it, and we choose them selectively. At the same time, Pakistan mein, this is almost unfortunate now that every professional in Pakistan, it's difficult to hire in Pakistan. If I have to hire finance professionals in Pakistan, I find it difficult. आपको अगर आज से I don't know 5 साल पहले या 10 साल पहले for the same job, for the same money, अगर आपको पहले 6 साल एक्सपीरियंस आदमी चाहिए होता था, sometimes you will take bets on younger talents now, because जो एक्सपीरियंस आदमी है, he has already gone out, and I've had such experience. I tried to hire somebody और उसको सऊदी से एक ऑफर आई, and the gentleman, and you can't really say much about it. I think कोई हर्ज नहीं बाहर जाने में, and the good thing about finance professionals is that the skill is quite transferable. So what you learn over here in Pakistan, whether at leading universities or in the Institute of Accountants, the IFRS, the financial models, they're quite relevant outside of Pakistan as well. So transferable skills hain. And we are good at it. So Pakistani talent ki, one of the things that my boss sitting outside of Pakistan tells me that you have to keep Pakistan as a talent pool. And we continuously export people from Pakistan to other markets, and they're doing fantastic. So बाहर जाने में कोई हर्ज नहीं, जरूर जाना चाहिए. बट आपको पता होना चाहिए आप क्यों जा रहे हैं, बिकॉज यू कैन ऑल्सो हैव अ लॉट ऑफ ग्रोथ इन पाकिस्तान, जो कि हो सकता है इमीडिएटली आपको बाहर ग्रोथ की पेस, बिकॉज कंपटीशन बहुत ज्यादा है, थोड़ी स्लो मिले. तो समटाइम्स कैरियर्स प्लेटो व्हेन यू गो आउटसाइड, स्पेशली अगर हम मिडल ईस्ट की बात करें, तो पीपल्स stick around in the same jobs for longer without having vertical growth, जो आपको पाकिस्तान में मिल रही होती है. तो again you need to know who you are और आपके लिए important क्या है. अगर आपको लगता है कि यार मुझे growth जल्दी चाहिए, so maybe you would want to stick around in Pakistan for a bit, grow, and then go outside. अगर आपको लगता नहीं यार, I'll find my way, and if I have to spend some more time, I'll do that as well because मुझे पाकिस्तान से बाहर ज़्यादा अच्छी opportunities मिल रही हैं. So you could go as soon as you qualify, you try to reach out and go outside. At the same time, opportunity कब मिल रही है? So if you're working for an international company, at some point you do get the opportunity to be exported. That's a very good. I mean, that's how I went outside of Pakistan, and it's a very good way to go into established brands outside of Pakistan as a seasoned professional level, so that you are already a bit mature to handle the pressures. Because when you go outside of Pakistan, you do feel lonely in the workplace. यहाँ पर बहुत भाईबंदी से काम होता है. Everybody looks after each other. Even if there is a bit of friction, it's quite शाम में फिर भी साथ बैठे हुए होंगे because we share the same culture. There is no diversity in Pakistan. I mean, diversity in Pakistan means the male-female ratio. That's बहुत पुरानी बात हो गई outside of Pakistan because that's nationalities and religions and cultures जिनकी diversity is what diversity means. तो पाकिस्तान में काम थोड़ा प्रोटेक्टिव माहौल में. Bosses look after their teams. They protect them. अगर उसको कोई बाहर से कुछ दूसरी टीम का मेंबर चैलेंज कर रहा है तो कल्चरली हमारे अंदर ये एक खुसूसियत है कि हम प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं अपनी टीम्स को. बाहर यू आर ऑन योर ओन एंड सो इफ यू आर गोइंग आउटसाइड यू शुड बी श्योर दैट यू आर गुड. So that's something that each person has to decide for themselves, their own priorities and what's good for them. But unfortunately, आजकल कोई बच्चा पाकिस्तान रहना नहीं चाह रहा. And we know the reasons, let's not talk about those reasons.
नहीं आप बिल्कुल नहीं, unfortunately you're right कि it's quite unfortunate कि आजकल जो है जो young generation आ रही है उसका बिल्कुल एक tunnel focus है कि यार I have to go abroad. और उसकी वजह से बाबर एक तरह से डीरेलिंग भी होता है ना आपके करियर के लिए कि मैं अपना करियर अब यहाँ से शुरू करूंगा कि पहले मैंने बाहर जाना है, मुझे पासपोर्ट लेना है, जो बहुत ये वो चीजें जो बहुत सारी नेशनैलिटीज के लिए तो बिल्कुल इररेलेवेंट होती हैं. दे फोकस ऑन बिल्डिंग देयर करियर रादर देन फिगरिंग आउट कि व्हाट कलर देयर पासपोर्ट वुड होल्ड इवेंचुअली. सो ये अनफॉर्चुनेट है, बट यू आर राइट. आई थिंक पाकिस्तान continues to export great talent outside, which is very visible. I remember at one point in time we were sitting in a meeting in the distributor that we worked with together. And it was a proud moment for me. Not that I'm very sort of ultra nationalistic, but it was a proud feeling for me that I was there. I was a group controller. The CFO was a group CFO was there. He was also from Pakistan. Then you were there. And coincidentally, the partner from PwC was on the other side, was also there. So our CEO at one point says, guys, what do you guys in Pakistan have with finance that everybody is in finance in this leading position?
So we do have good finance talent in Pakistan. And it's recognized across companies, by the way. I mean, and many countries as well.
Correct.
You'll find finance professionals from Pakistan around the world.
बिल्कुल. बाबर, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन हुआ. थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच फॉर टेकिंग आवर टाइम और आप यहाँ पे आए एंड यू हैड दिस वंडरफुल चैट विद मी. पहली तो ये. दूसरा ये बाबर, यूजुअली व्हाट आई डू इज आई क्लोज माय पॉडकास्ट एपिसोड्स ऑन अ हाई. और उस हाई में बेसिकली व्हाट आई डू इज आई रन अ रैपिड फायर राउंड. It's quite interesting. So I just throw some questions at you rapidly and I expect you to answer them rapidly, and I not to put you under pressure, but 2-3 अल्फाज में अगर हो सके तो that will be great.
मेरे लिए 2-3 अल्फाज में कोई भी बात करना मुश्किल है.
बहुत मुश्किल है.
हमारी पॉडकास्ट इतनी लंबी हो गई है because of that.
Totally. So बाबर, यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं कि if finance were a sport, which one would it be and why?
It is quite fast and dynamic. I would say football, because it's more live and you have to react quite fast.
Fair. One financial term that sounds fancier than it really is.
All these EBITDAs and EBITDA, they're too fancy. It's क्या चीजें minus करनी है and you arrive at the number.
क्या चीजें minus करनी. Babar, if you wake up tomorrow as the Prime Minister of Pakistan, what is that one thing that you would want to change?
As Prime Minister, you can't change much. So अगर कोई और वर्दी हो तो फिर I think that you have more authority. One thing that I would change in Pakistan would be, देखो पाकिस्तान में चेंज 2-3 चीजें करनी है. गवर्नमेंट की स्पेंडिंग आधी करनी है और टैक्स का सिस्टम सही करना है. These are the 2 priorities. आपका बजट बैलेंस होने लगेगा. इसी तरह कोई कंट्री चलती है, इसी तरह कोई सारे मुल्क चलते हैं. और तीसरी चीज, you need to have good governance, which Pakistan lacks. So governance, reduce the spending. गवर्नमेंट का जो इतनी सारी मिनिस्ट्रियों को आधा कर दें और प्रायोरिटाइज स्पेंडिंग करें. At the same time, tax reforms. The current tax system cannot sustain 250 million people.
Babar, if you were offered to have one super power, what would that be and why?
Reading minds. Because you can get away with so many things if you know what the other person is thinking. Negotiations वगैरह तो बहुत ही आसान हो जाए.
Interesting.
With so many stakeholders, by the way.
That is
personal and professional.
interesting. And lastly, Babar, if you could swap roles with any sports star for a day, who would that be and why?
The sports star that I really like is Roger Federer. Even when I was not playing tennis, I think the guy has a personality, a grace, and this flamboyance in the sport, in the way that he played, and at the same time, the humility. मुझे एक दफा दुबई मॉल में मिल गया था. And I was so nervous and star-stricken. I wanted to take a selfie. He took my phone and took a selfie.
No.
And I was, मुझे याद भी नहीं कि मैंने कहा क्या होगा उसको, you know. And he was so humble. So that's a sports personality I would really, like to be, or I aspire.
Amazing. Babar, again, I would just like to thank you for coming over and spending time with us. And at this note, I'll just close the discussion. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I love chatting to Babar. He's a great friend, a mentor, as I said, and eventually turned out to be a great guest at my CFO podcast. If you would want to know more about Babar or would want to learn anything more in detail about what he said, feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn. He's quite active over there. Till then, see you next time. Cheers.
Thank you.